I started this channel back in 2011 as a place where I could share my music with the world, and spent the first year putting cover songs on here and a few fingerstyle guitar pieces, and nobody came along and watched them. So it was a bit of a desert really, but anyway, I got busy again, and so I sort of left it alone for a few years and didn't really think very much more about it. And then when I finally retired from the live music scene, I bought myself a little cheap little nylon guitar, and just to have at home really, and learn a bit of classical music and have by the couch and just play when I felt like it. And when it came to changing the strings, I went down to my local music shop and I was met with this wall of all these different brands and manufacturers, nylon strings, carbon strings, all these different tensions and God knows what else, and just completely overwhelmed. And bearing in mind I'd spent my life playing steel string acoustic guitars, and back then when I was buying strings, you only had the choice of phosphor bronze or 80/20 bronze, and that was it really, medium, light or extra lights. And all you really wanted was a cheap set of strings that would last as long as possible and not break in the middle of a show. And so because of this wall of nylon strings, I suddenly decided that, well, I need to start finding out about nylon strings, and I tried a few different sets and see which ones work the best. And I thought, well, I know what I'll do. Each time I buy a new set of strings, I'll record the sound. I'll make a note and record my pros and cons, my likes, dislikes, and then I've always got that as a reference I can go back to. And so I recorded these videos, and I thought I'll put them up on YouTube. That's the easiest place to keep them. And all of a sudden, people started watching them and commenting. And I realised that there were other people in the world who were in the same position as me, who were completely overwhelmed with which strings to buy for their nylon string guitar. Obviously not your classically trained classical guitarist, professional guitarist, but the people like me who are just playing at home. And so my channel sort of turned into a nylon and acoustic guitar string review site, which was doing okay, and it started growing, and all of a sudden I got included into the YouTube partner program, where you actually start earning a little bit of money for the adverts that they put on your videos before and afterwards. And I thought, hey, this looks like a good way I could actually top up my pension. So I started doing string reviews every week, and I got caught up in this whole YouTube train of I've got to get a new video out there, I've got to get, and it wasn't until a few days ago actually, when I was sat actually on my terrace with throwing a tennis ball for my little German Shepherd, who's lying at my feet here at the moment, glass of wine in my hand. I thought, you know, I've lost my purpose. I lost my why. Why am I doing YouTube? I didn't want to do string reviews anymore. I was beginning to get to a point where I wasn't actually putting any passion into the string reviews anymore, and I realised that. And so I'd sort of taken a little bit of a break from YouTube, and sitting there on the terrace with my glass of wine and my German Shepherd, I thought, what's my why? Why am I doing YouTube? What's my purpose? And I also started thinking about, well, originally I wanted to share my music with the world, and what happens when I'm not around anymore? What happens when maybe my children want to spend some time with me on YouTube, or show their children, and they're going to go, there you go, there's Grandad doing some string reviews. And I thought, that's not what I want at all. That's really not what I want to leave behind when I'm not here anymore. And what it made me realise is that my big why for actually doing YouTube in the first place is that original goal of sharing some of my music and leaving a little bit of a musical legacy for my children and my grandchildren, so that when I'm not around anymore, if they do want to spend some time with me, which probably will be very rare, but if they did want to spend some time with me, they can go to my YouTube channel and just sit there for 3 minutes or even 30 minutes, I don't know, and spend some time listening to me in my happy place with a guitar in my hand, strumming a few chords and singing a few of my songs that have meant so much to me in my musical career. And so this video really is all about that. It's about letting you know that from now on you will see that my channel page is going to change. The string reviews that have been prominent for a very long time will be slipping back into the background. They're not going to be removed. They'll still be there. You'll find them in search, but they won't be prominent on my homepage anymore. I'm going to be dedicating the rest of my videos that I do in the future now to a happy place that my children and grandchildren can come along and listen to me playing and singing like they've always listened to me in the past. And so I want to end here by saying, hey, a big thank you to everybody who's subscribed to my channel, who's followed me with all the string reviews, and I really appreciate you being there. I totally understand if you're not going to be there any longer in my new direction, but hey, that's okay. And if you're still here and you are going to stick around and watch some of my cover songs and fingerstyle covers in the future, thanks for that as well. And hey, stay safe. I'll see you in the next video, and hey, have a good life, everyone.